So I got to play the 2XKO Alpha Lab. I received the code to participate in the Alpha Lab for its last weekend, I believe, and as a fighting game player, I really enjoyed it. There were definitely areas that could be improved and expanded upon, but for a game's Alpha Lab, it was quite excellent. I have a feeling of the game, a sense of what Riot Games aims to accomplish with it, and at the end of the day, I had fun playing it. This YouTube video is going to serve as a review, impression, and sort of general feedback for me to document this moment. 2XKO is developed and published by Riot Games and is a brand new, traditional fighting game that consists of characters from the League of Legends universe. I have heard of League of Legends, but not really being a huge fan of Riot's former game titles, was never really reeled in or called to explore, the League of Legends world. I'm happy to say that 2XKO did just that. My itch has been scratched, and I am interested. First off, I will talk about movement. Moving felt really good to do when I was playing in the alpha. It might be an odd thing to express, but I do have memories of playing fighting games and not being sold on the movement. For a traditional fighting game like this one, it's important to have fluid movement amongst the cast, and I think 2XKO's is solid as it is. It did vary by character, as it should, and I didn't play them all, but I felt that Ekko was the clear winner for best movement in the Alpha Lab. I'm just gonna say it. He was fast and zippy, and that aspect added an extra layer to his game plan. Next, I will talk about tagging. This is a tag game, so you use more than one character. Personally, I did not like to raw tag in this version of the game. I kind of didn't know when it was safe to do so, and I would often try to avoid doing a raw tag. I also noticed you could extend combos when you tagged with an assist, so that was a cool option and it was useful, so I just used that more. Tagging after calling an assist seemed to have a different cooldown or timer to it that felt more natural in my opinion. I don't think I was doing it wrong either or incorrectly. I'm not quite familiar, but I've played tag games before, but either way, my opinion. It could very well just be that I'm not too good or experienced at team games, but that's my opinion. Next, I'll talk about the characters. So the roster of characters so far is diverse, and I like that the developer team managed to showcase that aspect of the game very early on. I know that the League of Legends IP is massive, and that this game's cast of characters could be very, very wide. For now, reviewing it as is, the diversity among the existing cast of characters seems very good. First, I'll talk about Ahri. Ahri was definitely the most used character in the Alpha Lab. I used her almost always in a fight against her quite often. I've seen Ahri described as a ranged fighter in League, and I feel that in this game, her kit could have some more ranged options to have her earn that archetype. I'd say that she's a mix of range and rushdown, with a bit more rushdown in her current game plan than range. Ekko is a mix-up monster. His clone teleport options, clone attacks, and time wender all blend very well together to create the character that he is. Adding in his movement options and an assist to the mix will make him, personally speaking, a mainstay in this game, for sure. Yasuo has range. Despite mechanically looking like he's a really difficult character, a lot of people were playing him, including myself. I tried to not use him for like the first day, but then I just found myself using him more and more as I tried him out. His combos were very satisfying, and he was a strong character to have on your team. I will make a note that I don't see much use for his S2 move, if that's what it's called. Yeah, his S2. I hope there's a way it can be implemented into his combo game on hit or on block, because there were instances where I wanted to use it but couldn't properly get it. Next, Darius. I never played Darius, honestly, and now that my Alpha Lab code is expired and I guess it's over, I regret it. He was a monster. He has a long range, a command grab, and a bleed mechanic that I would have loved to abuse. in the next playtest and on full release, I will definitely be playing him. He's a solid character. Next is Braum. I did not ever use Braum, and before the Alpha Lab, I kind of thought he'd be the weakest character, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I don't think I landed a single projectile that Braum players didn't manage to block. I don't think I'll use him even as a support character, but he is a solid. He is solid. And lastly, Illaoi, or Illaoi, I don't know, Illaoi. This is the character that I always wanted to fight the least. Her tentacle setups and her far-reaching level 1 were really strong options that often caught me off guard. I don't mean to say that I dislike her character. She's actually works very well with the game, and it being 2v2, she pairs up well with a lot of characters. She was really strong with Braum, but also with Ahri. She's annoyingly good, I'll put it that way. Much better character than I thought she would be. Jinx, I knew Jinx would have been missing from the Alpha Lab, but I really wanted to play her. Not because she looks like she'll be a zoner, and I want to zone, but her toolkit just looks a lot of fun, and I want to try her out and figure her out. I'm sure she's being fine-tuned to the max, though. I just had to mention her. Catalina, yeah, I strongly believe that if Catalina makes the cut, she'll be as popular or as Yasuo or even Ahri is like right now. We've only seen like tiny snippets of gameplay, not even gameplay of her, but as I've explored more lore, I think she'll have a solid moveset, very solid. Alright, now I will talk about the game's mechanics. So right off the bat, the game has a very different button layout that I'll try to accurately describe in this review. It felt like it was too intuitive. It was a simple fix that I managed to configure to my liking, but the choice for the game's default button layout just stayed with me. I can judge that Riot wants to market this game as easy and not another, fighting game that's difficult, but the button layout had the opposite effect on me. It made it really difficult to start learning. I do play fighting games somewhat regularly, and trying to perform combos early on in the Alpha Lab just felt like I was being punished for learning how to play a separate fighting game. Like I said, the button layout is a very easy fix. I just wanted to mention it. The game's 2v2 aspect is its main appeal, and I think that it works great with the fuse system that the developers have implemented into the game. I did not get a chance, or really even try, to play the game in the 2v2 format. I only played on my own. Still, when I fought players who were playing in duos, I felt that they had a team synergy advantage over me, which is fine. Which was fine. Their tags were a bit more precise, they piggybacked off each other a bit, and it seemed to me like it's the game that the way that the game should be played. I think the pulse fuse should stay as a fuse and not become a game mechanic, to further incentivize new players to learn how to play fighting games. The way I see it, if it's an option to use auto combos, you can decide for yourself when you're ready to start executing bigger and more technical fighting game moves. That's just me. I don't know. In my opinion, if you're gonna pick up 2xKO in the future, if you're gonna pick it up, play with the pulse fuse first. That's what I would say. Fury activates when your health is below 40%, gives you a damage boost and a dash cancel, and felt just unnecessary. In my opinion, it should just be a game mechanic, that just kicks in when you're below 40% in a match. Extra damage and a dash cancel doesn't really justify an entire fuse position in my mind. The 2x assist fuse allows you to call and assist twice, and felt the most useful out of the ones available. It's straightforward and amplifies team synergy, especially among characters that already work well with each other. If you're going to play 2xKO and didn't get a chance to participate in the Alpha Lab, this is another fuse that I recommend using at the start. Double down lets you combine one character's super with another character's super, and I don't have a lot to say about it. I think it's fine if it stays as a fuse, but I could see it being a mechanic, but I could also see like the time of matches dropping drastically because of that. And freestyle fuse lets you handshake tag twice, and personally I didn't have enough time to really get it down, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the game's best fuse, right behind 2x assists. It'll certainly make for some flashy combos when the game is out and when tournaments start being played. Push block felt really strong, maybe too strong, and I tried to do it as much as I could. It's really good, get off me option. I found at times that it would push my opponent like too far and I wouldn't be able to get a punish, but maybe that's not the purpose of the push block. That's just my thoughts. I rarely used retreating guard, but I think it's solid. It's good. It seems like just the right amount of space for a free little backdash or retreating guard. I never use my parry, never, but I know that it's really strong. I've seen it been used. I'm glad that the mechanic is in the game though, as certain players will indeed up their playstyles and use it frequently to punish opponents. Not necessarily a game mechanic, but it's related to how the game plays. I felt matches were too short. I timed out a lot, and I don't think that's a good thing for longevity for the game. I know in its earliest conception, this game was designed to be 1v1, so maybe that that's carried over the time limit. Either way, I would definitely up the limit on the timer, maybe like 30 more seconds, 30, 40 more seconds, I don't know. Next, sound design. So the sound design wasn't entirely smooth throughout the alpha for me. I had moments of zero audio, music cuts, and sometimes missing dialogue. Like in the intros, like missing intro dialogue. A simple restart would always fix the problem. I'm just mentioning it in my review. It would typically happen in between matches, or if I was like scrolling the game's home screens, like the music would just cut out. Outside of that, the music choice for the lobby, stages, and home screen was well done, catchy, and very fitting. Nothing was too loud or too quiet, like when I was scrolling through the home screen menus. I noticed characters' themes playing when their teammate would be knocked out and they would like swoop into the match. That's a nice little touch, and I like the attention to detail for the characters. Now the visuals, art style, and aesthetic. I think the art style and general aesthetic for this game is well done. Fighting games can't all be Arc System work products, but I was gripped by the game's art. I liked it. The character models looked solid in the game, and they look good in the little pre-match cutscenes as well. In-game super moves could possibly have a bit more flash, substance, and pizzazz to them. Notably, both of Ahri's level 1 supers seemed a bit down-tuned and lacking in visual emphasis. I would say that like Braum and Illaoi had the best looking cinematic supers, and just like level 1 supers, just a lot going on the screen, a lot of colors, look nice. The in-game lobby avatar that you create has very nice customization options that I liked, and seems okay. For replayability, while this may vary by player, in my opinion, this game is really replayable. In the realm of fighting games, I wouldn't say that it's like easy to pick up, but I'm willing to bet that like players new to fighting games and willing to check this out would stick with it. I would say so. It's based on an established property, feels good to play, and is just being made by a team that I gather knows what they're doing. While the League of Legends property might be like the leading factor into the game's success, in my opinion, that's okay. I myself am fairly new to the scene, but appreciate the creation of the game, and I really do hope that it does well. And in my personal opinion, playing 2xKO is very, very, very fun. The game introduces League of Legends characters very well, and I like that they're pulling in characters to make for a diverse roster. For their next playtest, I'd like to see some better sound design when not in the game, and when in the game, a few more unique characters, flashier supers, for certain characters, definitely a better tutorial for newcomers, and some more stages. The game has a depth to it that I think will make it last and seems like a game I could stick with in the long run. Alright, I'm John Plex, and if you found this review informative or helpful, you can let me know by liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and leaving a comment. Will you be trying out 2xKO? That's all for the video, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.